Hello, my sweet bookish friends. I just recently got out of the shower and got a little ready for the day, so hence why my hair is a bit chaotic right now. I hope everybody is having an amazing new year so far. The day that I am filming, so today is January 2nd, and I started off the new year a little bit rough. I have had a migraine for the last 2 days, so that has been interesting. I've been in bed for the last 2 days, like just feeling like absolute poop. But I'm starting to feel a little bit better enough to like get up and kind of do things around the house. I've been drinking lots of tea and just taking the rest that I needed. Anyway, I kind of said in my last video how I was going to update you guys on a lot of stuff that's been going on, things that I've been thinking about, things that have been happening in my life, some kind of plans and goals and whatnot for 2024. So before we get into all of that, I do have a lot that I kind of wanted to chat about, hence why I got my cup of tea and I'm sitting in my cozy chair. Before I go into all that though, today's video is going to be a whole like ultimate reset video because there's just so much that I need to do to prepare for the year, with a big focus on more fulfilling and more like quality things instead of like quantity things, if that makes sense. But yeah, today in the video we are going to chat for a little bit about some stuff, and then after that I need to go and fill up some of my like loose herbal teas, so I might run to the store and go grocery shopping for the week, and I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do because of my headache, so I'm gonna take it slow and just kind of see like how I'm feeling throughout the day. But I'm hoping to at least get a couple errands done, and then I'm also going to be creating a 2024 like mood board. So I'm gonna be putting a bunch of like inspiration pictures together, write some goals down and all that stuff to put on a little board to go above my desk. We're gonna do a whole like face skincare night tonight because I did get some new dry clay and stuff that I've been mixing into my face mask and whatnot. And then we're going to do some reading, and yeah, just kind of have like a chill reset day or week. I really don't know how long this video is going to be. It could be over the span of a couple days, or it could just be today. I don't really know. We're gonna listen to our bodies and see like what all I can get done today. But for the things that I wanted to chat about, so like I said in my last video, I just hit a really weird like funk over the last couple weeks. It was a little bit burnout, it was a little bit just emotional turmoil, it was just being so I don't know, it was just so many things that kind of led up to this like mental breakdown point. So I made a couple decisions for myself and for my channel and for my like just social media in general, like going forward for this year. So with that, a few little tiny announcements. I think in 2024, I'm going to be incorporating a little bit more lifestyle content into my videos because sometimes I just feel so much pressure to read so much during the month that it either burns me out, or I don't enjoy reading as much, or like I don't know, I feel a lot of pressure on myself, and I just really want to take that off and kind of just continue to enjoy what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm gonna try to incorporate just a little bit more lifestyle content. So I mean, all my videos are still going to be like book based, like there's gonna be something bookish in like all of them, but I'm just not going to try and do as many like reading challenges, read as many books throughout the month. I think I'm going to create like a monthly schedule to where like at the beginning of the month, every month I'll do my monthly like TBR videos, and then like once a month I'll do a reset video, and then once a month I'll do some kind of reading challenge, like reading thrillers for a week, or reading I don't know, popular books for, I don't know, you know, like I'll just do something that's still like fun. But I think trying to post like twice a week or more is just not very realistic for me. And before I was trying to, and like I'm still doing this, but before I was trying to work towards doing YouTube full time, and now I'm just kind of starting to rethink if that is smart for me, because with doing YouTube full time, like yes, I obviously have a lot more time to read and to do all these things, but again, I don't want to put that pressure on myself to like have to create content and have to read so much that it ends up feeling too much like a job, and like it takes the enjoyment out of it, you know? So like I'm just trying to be very aware of myself and how I'm feeling, and just like as I start moving towards that goal of doing YouTube full time, just really thinking like, is this going to be like what's best for me? And if so, how can I do it to where I don't get burnt out or I don't take the enjoyment out of it, you know? So like I'm just trying to think of realistic plans and ways for me to still do what I love and still love doing it. If that makes sense. So then also with that said, I do have a second channel, which is my like vlog channel. It's Simply Faith. I will kind of post it above on the screen somewhere. And then I also have an Instagram for that type of content, and that Instagram is its.simplyfaith, which I'll also put above and link below. But another goal of mine for this year is to start posting more on there and kind of getting that brand and that content like launched. I only did like 3 videos last year on Simply Faith, and during my little breakdown moment a couple weeks ago, I was really looking at my life and asking myself a lot of questions, and I just realized that I was kind of straying away from the things that make me who I am and the things that I love to do like when no one's watching. And so that's where I really wanted to start doing more on Simply Faith, because all that stuff, like my sustainability, my holistic healing, my herbal medicine, like all that stuff is stuff that I just love to do so much, and it just brings me so much fulfillment and purpose. And not that this doesn't, but like that's just like things that I love to do also. And I think that platform is also something that could help a lot of other people as well. So that's something that I kind of just wanted to like dip into more in 2024. Over the last couple weeks, I have really been looking at my life, and I kind of caught myself in this weird moment where I realized that I was kind of straying away, like I said, from like what makes me me, and I was kind of trying to form myself into this person and this aesthetic that kind of like fits what's popular in society, I guess, if that makes sense. I look at the people who I look up to, like Lauren Daigle, Nikki Reed, Isabel Page, like those types of people, and I ask myself, like, what is it about them that I love so much, and like why do I look up to them? And I think the majority of it is that they just do their own thing, and they are so like authentically themselves, and they kind of go against what society and the world kind of tells you what you should and shouldn't do, you know? And especially like when I was younger, that's something that I wish that I had to look up to. Like that's the type of person that I wish that I had as an influencer and like as someone to look up to in my mind, because I feel like so often we are just so easily like influenced by society and we don't even realize it. Because if you think about it, like if you see something so many times, you're almost guaranteed to start liking that thing or wanting that thing just because you see it so many times, if that makes sense. And I just realized in my own life that, especially as an influencer, I was focusing too much on what was getting popular and like what other people wanted to see and like the aesthetic that people liked and all that stuff. I was just focusing so much on that I was kind of starting to forget who I am like at my core and like who I want to be and how I want to project myself like on social media and like online. So I just needed to step away for a little bit and just kind of step away from the noise and the constant ingestion of just content and all these things to just remember like who I am, what matters to me, what I actually like to do. Because I feel like when we're online so much, like if you see so many people getting Apple AirPods, for example, and you see that so many times, you're like, oh yeah, I want AirPods. And then if you're off social media, or if you're like just away from that noise and that pressure of like buying stuff, you realize like, do I actually need AirPods? Like, and that's a really bad example, but you kind of get what I'm saying. So I just needed to take a break and step away from the content and the constant ingestion of media to just remember and reflect. So that's what I've been doing the last couple weeks, is just a lot of self-reflection, asking myself questions like, who am I when I'm by myself? Like, what do I like to do when I'm not looking at what everybody else is doing? What am I doing and who am I like when nobody's watching and when I don't have to document my life? I feel like I'm entering this weird stage of my life where just everything is changing, and I'm like still so young. Like I'm only in my mid-20s, but my body is changing, my surroundings are changing, my mind is changing. Like I'm getting married this year. I'm gonna start needing to prepare myself and get ready for like starting a family soon. And when I say soon, I mean like in the next few years, but that's still like the somewhat near future. I need to start thinking about like where I want to settle down, like if I want to buy a house, like if, you know, like there's just so many things that I need to like mentally prepare for, physically prepare for, and just kind of like get myself in a good position to make those decisions. I'm doing a lot of, like I said, self-reflection, and I'm still figuring out how to overcome like trauma and stress and anxiety and how to properly manage my ADHD and all these things. So there's just a lot that's going on in my life right now, but it's not bad. Like it's a lot of change and it's stressful, but it's also such a beautiful thing to like kind of watch myself go through. And I think to be such a sensitive person and to be so self-aware is hard, but it's also something that I'm so thankful for. Like, how blessed am I to be able to feel so deeply, and like how great a gift that is to be able to feel and see and be aware of so much. I don't know. I just like getting these moods where I just start to really think about life in like a super deep way. So if it just sounds like I'm rambling, I probably am. I'm sorry. But anyway, that's just kind of been the last few weeks for me. With all that said though, I have been in therapy for about 5 years now, and that has honestly been such a huge part of my growth and my development throughout the year. And I think that that has also helped me so much through this really weird time in my life where there's just so much going on and there's so much change and there's a lot of things that I'm kind of having to go through at once. So with that, I wanted to talk a little bit about the sponsor of today's video, which is BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online therapy platform where they connect you with licensed therapists who's trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. Starting therapy can be very intimidating. I remember my first therapy session and I was scared. But with BetterHelp, you can do your therapy session as a video chat, as a phone call, or even as text. So it's a little bit less daunting. To get started, you'll fill out this big questionnaire that will kind of help them understand why you're there, what they can help with, etc. All to find a therapist that will fit your specific needs. Their schedule is available for you to look at, so you can pick times that are best fit for you as well. If you don't feel like your first therapist match is the right one, then you can always get a new therapist to match with. I genuinely think that every single person walking this planet can benefit from talk therapy. Like I said, I've been going to talk therapy for 5+ years, and even during times where I feel like I'm like relatively okay, it's still always nice to have somebody, especially an unbiased person, like not your friend, not your family, just someone, a professional who you can talk to and who can guide you and who can kind of help you through every season of your life. And even if you feel like you only need it for a specific season of your life, or you're working through trauma, or you're working through stress, or whatever it is, therapy is just so helpful, short-term or long-term. If you think you might benefit from therapy right now, if you click the link in my description, BetterHelp is offering all of my subscribers 10% off your first month of BetterHelp. Thank you so much to BetterHelp again for sponsoring this video. And like I said, every single person can benefit from talk therapy, and I'm probably the biggest advocate for it. Honestly, I tell all of my friends and family, like literally no matter what you're going through, it's always helpful to talk to somebody, especially a professional. And again, like I said, it has definitely made a huge impact in my life over the last couple years, and especially recently as I'm going through all these changes. Okay, sorry, that was a really long chat, but there's so many things that I just really needed to say. But now I am getting a little bit hungry and I need to go to the grocery store, so I think I'm going to go do that and get some groceries. I am currently reading Powerless, so I really want to get a big chunk of that read tonight. So after the grocery store, I think I'm gonna come home and make some food, do some organizing, and then I want to start putting my 2024 mood board / goal board thing together. And then we're just going to kind of see how the rest of the day goes. I ended up not really like going anywhere today. So I actually just Instacarted some groceries to get delivered to my house, but I ended up making dinner and I made just some like roasted potatoes and carrots with bacon and parsley, and it's so good. And I've been feeling kind of nauseous, probably from my headache. I just thought this would be pretty easy on my stomach, and it's really yummy. But I have been reading Powerless for the last little chunk of time, and so I just started it, like I said earlier, and I'm on page, I think 63. I'm reading it on my Kindle because I literally could not find a single physical copy in any of the stores, and I didn't want to like order it online, so I just got it on Kindle. I'm on chapter 8, so for Kindle it's page 63, and I'm actually really liking it so far. I really like both of our main characters, Peyton and Kai. Kai, he has like a very cocky vibe to him, but you can also tell that there is like another softer side. And I really like how we get the dual point of view. I like the way that it's written, and I, like I said, enjoy the characters a lot. I can already tell that Peyton is going to be a very strong female main character in this book because she already has like a past that is very heartbreaking, and she's like that type of person who obviously needs to like fight to survive. So just a very strong and very admirable character so far, and I am very interested to see Kai's character development kind of throughout this book, because right now he's kind of, like I said, that cocky royal person with kind of a little hidden soft spot. So I don't know, I'm really excited to read more about them. I'm going to eat my dinner and keep reading Powerless, and then in a little, it's already 7 o'clock, and I'm going to, after dinner, I'm going to probably start to get ready, like to wind down and go to bed. So I will be doing my little like home self-care routine, face mask, all that jazz, and I'm just really looking forward to that. So before I do my face mask, I usually just wash my face with water, but since I have makeup on, I'm going to wash my face with my normal day-to-day face wash, which right now is the Eminence Mangosteen Daily Resurfacing Cleanser. I feel like a weird beauty guru talking like this. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm gonna wash my face and get all my makeup off, and then I have my face mask that you just watched me put together, and that is my bentonite clay, and then I have my tea tree oil, and then I have some ground up oats, so oat flour, and then some honey. The bentonite clay is good for actively seeking out toxins and impurities. The tea tree is a very good like antibacterial. Honey is really good for like hydrating and like nourishing your skin. And then the oats, I can't remember exactly what the oats are good for, but it's kind of the same thing, like nourishing, kind of hydrating, exfoliating. I have been trying to transition into a very like natural body care routine, so I have kind of gotten rid of a lot of products and switched to more natural like alternatives. So this is one of them. I was very actively seeking out some acne treatments and stuff because I've been breaking out really bad lately. And it's so hard to find things that don't have a bunch of chemicals in them or really harsh like treatment things. So just finding some natural foods and herbs and other things that will help is just a lot better to choose than those sometimes very scary ingredients. I also normally make like some warm tea at this point, but because I haven't been feeling very good and I'm trying to rehydrate and get some immune building things in my system, I did make this like electrolyte drink. I made some like homemade elderberry syrup with this elderberry syrup kit from my local apothecary. So I put some of that in here, and then I also have some coconut water, some normal like filtered water, a little bit of salt, and lemon juice I believe is all that's in here. To make the elderberry syrup, all you need is some like dried elderberries, or I don't know if you can use fresh ones, but I just use like dried elderberries. That also has star anise in it, and some cinnamon and cloves, I think. And then so you just boil that down for a while, and then you just add like a cup of honey, and that makes elderberry syrup. So that's what this drink is. I'll try to put together like some recipes and stuff that you can either screenshot or I'll put in the description. But yeah, I'm gonna wash my face really quick and then get my face mask on. And Danny's also been asking to do my face mask lately. He really likes the whole like natural face mask thing while he like takes a bath and stuff. So I'm gonna put that on, and then yeah. What is this? I can't laugh, my face is tightening up. This is way too tall. Is that better? Hello friends. It is the next day and I have a couple updates. First of all, since we're kind of on the topic of my natural and holistic health care and products and whatnot, I got a really exciting package in the mail that I wanted to share with you guys. So a friend of mine, her name is Harmony. I'll put her Instagram and YouTube up here somewhere, but she introduced me to this brand called Earthly, and it just has a bunch of like natural holistic care and products and whatnot. So I got a couple things that I'm very excited for. The first one is this Good Night lotion. It's a magnesium lotion because I've been needing to get more like magnesium in my body, but every like supplement that I've tried to take has kind of bothered my stomach, so this is great because the magnesium is in the lotion and then I just rub the lotion on my body. So very excited for that. And then I also am running out of my shampoo, but I wanted to switch to shampoo bars again just to kind of try and be more like zero waste. So I got their shampoo bar for curly hair. This is not, there we go. It smells great. Haven't tried it yet, but I'm very excited to do so. And then I also got their oatmeal and honey just bar soap. I am an oatmeal and honey gal through and through. I think it smells so freaking good. And then I also got 2 tinctures. So I got the anti-inflammatory and the ease the ache tinctures. The ease the ache is for like period cramps and just kind of pain around my cycle and whatnot. And then I got the anti-inflammatory one just for your normal day-to-day inflammatory issues. I have IBS, I have a lot of stomach issues, I have a lot of just inflammation in my body that I'm trying to lessen, hopefully. So I thought that would be perfect. And then I also ordered this book online with one of my Christmas gift cards, and that is the Herbal Antibiotics book. Nikki Reed posted a photo of this book like a while ago, but I was like insta stalking her as I usually do, and I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, no way. So I'm really interested to look into this more. I'm definitely more interested in learning like natural antibiotics and stuff, so that's gonna be very exciting. Anyway, now that we are past my little haul of sorts, I am now 50%. Here, let me check. Okay, so I'm now 55% of the way through Powerless. I love this book, first of all. I think it's so much fun and it's very, very bingeable. And even though it's like a longer book, I feel like I'm getting through it pretty quickly. But something that is kind of bothering me is how parallel it is to the Hunger Games. Like the entire idea of this book just feels very, very carbon copy of the Hunger Games. I mean, their Hunger Games is literally called the Purging Trials, and it's the same exact thing where like people watch the trials and people can like vote on you. I don't really know. They didn't really elaborate on that whole scenario, but I don't know, even like some of the actions and the things that happen, it feels too much like the Hunger Games. Not as original, but I am still completely eating it up because I loved the Hunger Games. Peyton and Kai, oh my gosh, I love them so much. We did just get past the first trials. I think there's 3 trials. I'm honestly not 100% sure, but I'm like at the point where we just got done with the first trials. And I mean, I don't know. I felt like I was getting kind of bored at a certain point. Like, I felt like it was just too long, but there also was a lot of Kai and Peyton. So again, I was like eating it up still, but I don't know. The pacing it got a little bit slow and repetitive for a minute, but I think now that the first trials are over, it's gonna like get really interesting again. And not that it like wasn't interesting before. Like I said, it just got kind of repetitive and just like dragged out. I don't know, but I'm having a great time. I did also put together my 2024 mood board on, oh, I almost just hit my head with my computer, in Canva. And I kind of wanted to go through that really quick. So this year I have a lot of goals, but also like not many goals at the same time. Like I have goals, but they're not like checklist goals. It's more like getting my together goals. So here is my 2024 mood board or dream board. I don't really know what I would call it, but just going like through all the pictures, a lot is happening this year. I'm getting married first of all in August. which I'm so excited for. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that's happening. But there's that. I also want to try and travel a little bit more this summer because I didn't really travel much last year. And even if that's just like little road trips to like some hiking places or some national parks, like I just want to go on more adventures this year. So I have a lot of like hiking photos and camping photos because that's just a really big goal of mine this year, is to just spend more time outdoors and adventuring and doing all those things. Another one of my big goals and just things that I want to incorporate more in my life is like cooking homemade meals and baking, like just making more things from scratch. So I have a little picture on the bottom of some sourdough bread and then a picture on the side of just some like raw groceries and whatnot. I obviously want to do some more cozy reading, so I have some pictures of books and reading and stuff. In the spring and summer, one of my favorite things to do is go on bike rides, especially to the weekend farmers markets that we have. Me and Danny recently went to a pottery class for his birthday, so we both really want to get more into like throwing on the wheel and making our own pottery and stuff. So we're thinking about getting a wheel online and then just having that through the summer for us to like make pottery as we wish. So that's something that we're really excited to do more together and kind of like bond over. I have a picture of worship and like a little Bible group because this year I really want to get a little like Bible study together or do more like worship nights, or just, I don't know, I'm like always trying to just like grow in my faith more. So I just wanted to incorporate something of that kind into my board. On the bottom, I have my 50K subscribers goal. I started my YouTube in August of 2022, so I've had it now for a little bit over a year. And we've already grown it to, right now we're at 23,000, which I still like cannot believe that that's a thing. And I know that 50,000 is a little bit of a stretch, but I don't know. I would just love to grow our community here even more this year. And that just felt like a good number, I guess. I want to do a lot more gardening this year. I'm getting very into self-sufficiency and just like learning how to do things more on my own. I would really like to grow, I live in an apartment, so I don't really have like a backyard or like a yard in general to like garden, but I do have a little like raised garden bed thing that I can plant some herbs, some tomatoes, and then I also have a couple little like pots and stuff that I can just plant a few things in. So I really want to grow some tomatoes and maybe some different lettuces, carrots, a bunch of herbs. And I would love to just grow what I can and eat from my own garden. And like I said before, I want to start like making sourdough bread and making my own like crackers and drinks and whatnot. So I want to try and spend more time and putting more love into like my food and the things that I ingest, especially after this really hard year of like my health and just having a really hard relationship with food in general. I think it'll be really fun to kind of like rediscover my love for food and different like cuisines in general by making it all from scratch and for like at home. I also want to obviously get more into like herbal medicine and like just my education in like holistic healing and stuff. So I have a little picture right next to the 2024 middle of like a girl studying her herbs and stuff. I've got some yoga on here because I really want to get into the fitness routine more. Last year it was very and even right now it's like it's really hard for me to like exercise because my body is just very like weak and kind of hurting still right now. So I'm just like slowly trying to get back into exercising and like working out and stuff. So yoga has been fantastic because it's a very gentle way for my body to just kind of get back into the rhythm of like using my muscles a certain way and like building my strength back up, and it's been very good for my brain. But yeah, I mean that's the majority of what's on here, and those are a lot of my goals and just things that I really want to focus on this year. Community is also, I kind of have a few pictures of like groups of girls at dinner and like a group hiking, and I really want to focus on community this year as well because I feel like last year I kind of isolated myself, kind of let my health issues and my anxiety stop me from like doing things like going out with people and like doing activities together because I was always so nervous of like how I was going to be feeling. So yeah, this year I just really want to get my community back and like really get back out there and hang out with people, and because I genuinely love people and I just love like to talk to people and hang out with people, but I just have a lot of social anxiety as well. So It's kind of hard sometimes, but I'm trying to break out of my comfort zones and just really live a very full life this year. Anyway, yeah, that's my board. It's nearly dinner time now, so I am going to make probably a chicken quesadilla with my leftovers from some food I made last night. And then I have the first Harry Potter going on in the background because for some reason, like, Harry Potter has just been like my comfort movie lately. Like, I literally have watched the entire Harry Potter series like twice in the last 3 or 4 months. So I've literally watched all, 7 or 8 movies twice. And this is my 3rd time now going through them. I'm like that type of person where I just like watch movies, especially like my comfort movies, on repeat, like just to have in the background. It's a great time. It's great. I think I'm gonna try to, I know I'm probably not gonna finish Powerless tonight, but I'm definitely gonna try and get to at least like 65 or 75% of the way through. And then later tonight, I think we might do another like spa type of night because the face masks that I make, they're gentle enough to where you can do them every day, especially because I have like another one that's like avocado, honey, oats, and something else. And like it's literally just food that you're putting on your face. So it's like, it's okay to do every day or every few days or whatever. So I don't know, we might do a little bit of that tonight as well. And then tomorrow or tonight, I don't know, I need to go through my closet and I need to do like a hard and deep dive into my closet and just be very, very harsh on myself for like what to get rid of and what to keep, because I am definitely a hoarder when it comes to clothes, because I'm always like, well, like it's cute, but I don't like the way it looks on me, but I'll keep it because I think it's cute, you know? So I don't know. I just need to go through it and see what I actually want to keep, because another thing that I'm trying to do this year is do more of like a capsule closet, which I also tried to do this last year, but I failed. But this year I really want to do like, not like a capsule closet, but I want to focus on having more long-term and sustainable pieces instead of like more trending or like seasonal pieces, if that makes sense. Like my Embody jumpers that I have 4 of them now, and I love them so much, but they are kind of hard to wear in the winter because they are like kind of like a thinner material. You can like layer them up, but they're definitely more of like a spring through fall. That's something that I know I'll wear for years and years. It's sustainable, it's high quality, so like things like that I just want to really focus on getting more like things that are gonna last and things that are sustainably made and things that I know I will love to wear for years to come instead of just like kind of like what I'm in the mood for now. But yeah, so that's like the rest of my night. So I'm in my closet now trying to go through it and figure out like what I can keep, what I should give away, and just trying to do like a really deep dive into everything that I own. And I keep running into the literal same issue that I always have, which is I will look at my stuff, right? And I will be like, okay, yeah, like I haven't really worn this in a while. I've worn it maybe like 3 or 4 times, but I really like it. And like, it would be really, really good for this like really specific scenario. But like for everyday wear, like I just don't wear it. For example, I have like flannels, right, that I thrifted, and I love them. Like they're so good for camping, hiking, painting, just like doing everything in. But I literally think that I've worn this like maybe twice, and I got it probably like 4 months ago, if not more. So I don't know, because like it's something that I feel like I should give away. But then when I think about it, and like when spring and summer rolls around, I love to have flannels to kind of just like drape over when I am hiking or camping or doing whatever. So I'm like thinking maybe I'll box up everything that I'm not wearing right now and then like maybe revisit my closet like in the spring. But then again, I have stuff like jackets and whatnot, like this one for example. Again, like 90% of my closet is thrifted, and I feel like that's like a really good thing and kind of a bad thing, because I love thrifting. It's very sustainable. It's fun because you find a lot of like cool vintage, like one of a kind things. But the thing with thrifted clothes is I feel like a lot of the times they don't fit me super well, but because they're thrifted and they're cheap, I'll like get them anyway. And like I'll still like the way it looks on me, like it still fits. It just doesn't like fit in a way that I absolutely love. So I just don't like wear it as much, even though I really like the item. It doesn't like fit, again, the way I love, so I just don't wear it as much. And so this is just the dilemma that I literally run into all the time. All the time. So this is just, really hard. And like another thing, I have these pants, right, that I've had for a while, and I like wear them quite a bit. Like I really like these pants, but they're a little small and they're a little tight, but I really like them. I need somebody else to do this for me because I literally, like, every time I look at my closet, I leave the closet without doing anything. But I also kind of want to go on Canva, and I literally use Canva for everything, but I want to go on there and make like a dream closet or like an ideal closet and just kind of put together some like capsule items and like staple items that I can kind of mix and match all together. Because then once I look at that, I can figure out like what I want to keep and what I can get rid of and what I want to get new. Yeah. Maybe I'll do that. I do already have a small bag though that I have started, and I feel like it's just a very slow process where I have to really think about giving away my clothes. But then again, I don't want to have to think about it. I want to just get her done. Yeah. Okay, well, let's do a reading update. So, in Powerless, I got to, I think, 67%. Yes, 67%. So, now, I don't know. I'm still like eating it up and I'm still loving it, and I love Peyton and Kai so much, but I feel like for how long this book is and like kind of where we're at in the storyline right now, I just feel like we should have been here like a while ago. I feel like there was almost like too much banter and there was almost like too much kind of like stagnantness, and there hasn't been enough like of the actual storyline of like what actually is going on, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I feel like I always run into this issue with longer books. And when I say longer books, I'm saying books that are longer than like 350 pages. I just feel like they start to kind of drag out at a certain point. And again, like I am eating it up. Like I am liking what I'm reading, but I just feel like it is kind of dragging out at certain points. And I feel like more should have happened up until this point, especially because we are just now kind of getting introduced to like the resistance type of thing. And if you haven't read this, then obviously you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you have read this, you know what I'm talking about. And it's not a spoiler because I'm not saying anything like about it, but I don't know. I just like feel like we should have kind of known a little bit more about this by now. So that's just where I'm at. And again, there are some things, like it is just feeling so ridiculously parallel to the Hunger Games, like even down to like the weapons of choice, and I don't know, it just feels too copied, you know? But I'm having a great time, so it's a really confusing thing in my brain. I am probably going to finish it tomorrow because tonight it's already 9:50 and I'm getting a little sleepy. I kind of want to start just kind of chilling out and winding down for the night. And by that, I mean put on the third Harry Potter and mess around on Canva for a little bit. And I'm going to continue to try and go through my closet, and then I'll update you guys tomorrow on what I decide to do with that. For my closet situation, I decided that I'm just going to get rid of like the little bag that I already had made, and then I'm going to box up or like tote up everything that I haven't really been wearing lately or things that I'm just kind of like iffy about, and then I'm gonna come back to it in like maybe the beginning of spring or maybe like the end of February, and I'm gonna look through it again if I haven't like thought about anything, haven't touched anything, haven't even like if I totally forgot that I even had those things, then I'm going to get rid of them. And then I also made a little like capsule closet slash like dream wardrobe like slideshow thing, so like these are all the things that I really want to have in my closet and kind of just like interchange between those things, because I feel like the thing that I do a lot is I'll find stuff, especially thrifted, that I really like, but I do have it for like a specific scenario and I don't get as many pieces that can like interchange with each other. So I have all these pieces that are really cute and that are really fun, but I can only like, I don't know, wear them with certain things, or you know, I don't know, it's just a weird situation, so we're working on it, okay? Another thing that I just realized is like the winter is not the time for resolutions and new goals and resets, and like the winter is just for like rest and relaxation and just giving yourself a break from the busyness of spring through fall. So I feel like most of the goals and the resets and all like the bigger things that I'm wanting to do are maybe gonna be more of like a spring task. I did finish Powerless last night, and I have a lot of words. I have a lot of words. Lots of thoughts. Wow, that was a whole crazy ride. First of all, Okay, I'll do like pros and cons, goods and bads, loves and not loves. So first, the things that I totally loved about this book. Peyton and Kai. Oh my gosh, I just love them together so much. Like, I love rivals to lovers, enemies to lovers, like forbidden romance type of things. Like, it's just always so entertaining when they're constantly like threatening each other and their feelings are all like, I shouldn't love you, but I do. And like, oh, I eat that up every time. So that was really fun. All of the characters, I mean, except for Blair. We literally hate Blair. But most of the characters were very, very likable. I loved Adina. I loved Kit for the most part until a certain point. I loved Andy. I honestly wish we got a little bit more of her. I mean, we got a little bit, but I just really liked her character as well. Overall, like, I want to say it was pretty fast paced, but honestly the pacing was a little bit up and down. But I was like having a good time throughout the whole thing, which I feel like is sometimes hard for longer books for me, is that like sometimes with longer books I feel like I just get really bored and I just don't like end up wanting to pick them up as much. And like that did happen a tiny bit in this book, but for the most part I was like very invested in the story, the world, and I feel like this is a very, very, very subtle fantasy. Like honestly I wouldn't even say this is much fantasy. It's more of like a romance book with some like fantasy elements. Like the world they're in is technically considered fantasy because there's like a magic, not magic, but each person has like abilities, but it's definitely not like very much fantasy, but it was still fun. And for like the little fantasy elements that there was, I really liked the world that they were in, and I thought it was a really cool like concept. But also with that said, here's some of the cons and some of the things that I didn't like as much, and some of the things that like really annoyed me about this book is that I feel like the majority of this book was just ideas from other very popular books. Like I kept saying before, I feel like it copied a lot of the Hunger Games, and then kind of towards like the middle and then from then on, I felt a lot of ideas from the Shatter Me series. And like it's always nice when things kind of like remind you of other books, but this book specifically, I feel like I kept forgetting that I wasn't reading the Hunger Games or Shatter Me because it just felt so similar to that. So I just felt like a lot of the ideas in this book were very like unoriginal, but the way that she did it by introducing like her own kind of magic system and her own world at least was different, but for the most part it was just the same ideas of other books that are already popular. Going back to the pacing of the book, I don't know, I feel like I always feel this way with long books where at some point it just feels very repetitive and it's just kind of like dragging on, and that happened quite a lot during this book. I felt like a lot of Kai and Peyton's like interactions were just repeated, just in a little bit different scenarios, but it was like the same exact type of conversation. And so that just got kind of irritating because I was like, hey, I feel like I've already read this same interaction but in a different place, you know? Yeah, it just got very, very repetitive and it just like dragged on for a while. And then I also feel like the plot, so by the time I was at like the 70% point, 75% point, I feel like that should have been like the 50 or 60% point. Like I just feel like the whole first like 70% of the book was very slow, and then the last like 30% of the book was very rushed. And then something like one of my biggest pet peeves in books, especially book series, is when there's so much at the end that is left like unsaid or unresolved, or like there's no finality to the book. Like you literally have to read the next book to continue on with the plot, which like makes sense because I know it is a series, but for me, just like the way that I enjoy to read and the way I like my books, I don't like being in the middle of a plot and then having to wait 6 months to a year to like continue that plot, you know? Like I need finality so then I can get like excited for the next book, but it's not like just dropping off like in the literal middle of something that's going on. I think that's so ridiculous and it just really irritates me because especially like the way this book ended, I just feel like something really intense was happening and like something was about to happen, and then it just like jumped to like 3 days later and it didn't like explain anything that happened like during that last previous thing. I don't know, like it's hard to explain, but That just really irritated me. So I literally don't know if I want to give this book like 3 stars or 5 because I loved it. It kept me entertained. I absolutely loved the 2 main characters. So like there's a lot that I loved about it, but there's also so much that just really irritated me and annoyed me about it. So right now I'm sitting at like a 3.75 4-star, but I don't know. Like I don't think I've ever been so confused about my feelings towards a book in my entire life. But nonetheless, I'm very, very excited for the next one, which I believe is Reckless. But that doesn't come out till July. So maybe I'll see if I can get like an A or C of it. I don't know. But we have come to the end of my little reset vlog. This vlog ended up actually taking a lot longer than I thought because I feel like I got so busy with things like in between these days, so like I couldn't read as much. And then I did get to a few points in the book where I just like didn't care as much to pick it up, so I just didn't have like that longing to pick it back up. But I also just really wanted to finish it, and now that I am done with it, I feel so relieved, but also so pissed because there's so much that I still need to know. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here and watching my videos and supporting me as always, and I will see you guys in my next video.